All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a true fantasy football industry thought leader making his randomizer debut. I feel like it's a clerical error, the fact that I have not had Rotopat on the show, but we rectify that tonight. It is, of course, Pat Doherty from NBC, from Big Peacock, from Roto World. We got the wheel loaded for him. He's about to do a best ball draft where all 18 rounds, all 18 picks are dictated by prompts on the wheel that you sickos have submitted. Let's do it.
Wow, underdog fantasy with the randomizer draft.
You piece of shit.
Wilson! Wilson!
It's glowing hard.
I like big muscle, I cannot lie.
Bring one of your dogs.
Hey, football fans, Scott Hansen from NFL Red Zone here. Welcome to the Randomizer. Pete, take it away.
Hello. Shout out to the production team. Already got the Scott Hansen promo at the end of the cold open. Pat, I said, who can fill Scott Hansen's shoes? Who can follow Scott Hansen up? And I immediately sent you a DM.
Let's say you have my next door neighbor, Scott Hansen, on the show. We live in the same Bel Air, gated community. I'm assuming that's where Scott Hansen lives. And I have no idea, who even told him about the randomizer, but the stakes feel upped even more for me not to embarrass myself. Now it's Scott. Scott has survived, gotten in the Thunderdome and survived.
Yeah, do not get fooled by Pat's St. Louis jacket he's wearing. He does live in the hills of Bel Air.
I haven't lived in the Middle West in 18 years. I mean, I wouldn't be caught dead in a state that doesn't have like direct flights to Japan or France. So I have LA for 18 years.
I think that's a theme with you NBC guys. You project these man of the people, and then I have Denny on, and he's showing me like the world's largest deck on the Eastern Seaboard. And it's just, I know you guys are just all stuffing your pockets with that Big Peacock money over there.
Denny, it's been the slowest reveal ever because at first he revealed the enormous deck. And then I guess I should have known that he would have a large yard. Also, he recently revealed though his like 2-acre yard, where you get a really, really good shot of the deck. He's in the back. He was like showing off like some golf stuff. And I had no idea how large of a yard he had. I was already very suspicious because of the deck. But pretty soon we're going to see like, he's living in like, Dwight Howard used to own this home.
Exactly. Did Denny go to the same high school as Kevin Durant? Is that which one it was?
I can't remember. I know they're both from the DC area. Denny hides that he went to the elite collegiate institution of Maryland too.
Yeah,
he hides that a lot.
He hides it. He hides a lot of that stuff. Now, Rotopat, I did see on Twitter yesterday. You said you were scared, and I had one of those moments where, like, sometimes we all joke around on Twitter, but then sometimes I do ask myself, have I conceived of a show format where my guests are terrified to come on, and is that maybe not something I should be having as part of my brand?
No, I'm scared because like one of my bits is that I pretend I'm funny, but now I will be exposed as not funny on the randomizer. People will know that like it's just actually Denny giving me cue cards of what to say. And Denny was unavailable tonight. He's getting ready, shockingly, to go on a beach vacation. This is not a joke. So Mr. Man of the People has time to go to the beach during the preseason. But we'll see if I can still be funny in the randomizer. Thunderdome. See, I'm not funny. I've already said Thunderdome twice.
No, well, it is like, first of all, you are very funny, and you've been cracking me up on the Roto World podcast. I think it was 2 weeks ago. I was in New York, and I was listening to the podcast when you guys had Kerrane on, and I was dying laughing. I was like, I got to get Rotopat on. But to your point, there is kind of the element to the randomizer where it's like, when my uncle hears I've been doing improv, and then he goes, tell me a joke. Be funny. And it's like, hey, buddy, let it come to us. All right. I got to get loosened up.
What's the deal with socks? Am I right, folks?
Exactly.
Well, just draft Alexander Madison. Don't try to be funny. Just draft Madison. All right.
Yeah, no. That's what this show is about. It's about you drafting the best possible team in a self-contained $3 league on Underdog Fantasy. That's what this show is all about, Pat.
Relieved to hear it's not a Mastiff. So that's good. That's good news.
I'm surprised. Were you brushing up on your underdog contest names, or did Kerrane just
spending a little too much time with Kerrane? Yeah, just spending a little too much online time with Kerrane. So I know all about the Mastiff. Come on.
There you go.
Let's finish my fifth one of them because I'm sure live in LA.
I know you just learned about week 17 correlation, and now you're just max entering the highest stakes content.
That's the classic. Learns about week 17 correlation once and immediately enters 5 mastiffs.
Where it's not even a good format to do week 17 correlation. But that's neither here nor there. I did just share a link in the chat. I shared it in the Discord. We got some spots here. If you guys want to hop in this draft with us, we will be doing, like I said, it's only $3. Don't worry. This isn't $1,000 buying. Can you imagine if we did hop in a Mastiff and it's just like, well, you got to draft Tim Tebow with the first pick, Pat?
I mean, I actually can imagine it. I think that's going to be the logical conclusion of some of your content, that eventually you are just randomizing something even bigger than the Mastiff. Like what kind of dog was Beethoven?
St. Bernard.
Yeah, you're in the St. Bernard. It's a 10K. It's just you and Kerrane randomizing a St. Bernard, and your audience it's when you finally lose touch with your audience, like the connection severs. Like, yeah, Pete's he's weird now. He's just an elitist now. Like it used to be funny, but yeah, him and Kerrane are just like the 2 millionaire buddies, and I don't know where in this riff you became a millionaire.
Well, that was my whole thing. You know, David Kitchen likes to say that I'm part of his tree. You know, all of whatever successes I've had are attributed to him. I would like to think that Kerrane is part of my tree, you know, but there's been no monetary grafting off of that tree since he won. You know, although he did buy me Thai food when I was in New York a couple weeks ago. So I guess we're even.
You are even. We may have some litigation to resume whose tree Kerrane is a part of. You may have hired him here at NBC. And sure, he immediately left, but I might still claim him as part of my tree.
Exactly. All right. We are off to the races here, Pat. This is a great draft slot for the randomizer. I like to be in the middle. When I'm on the turn, it's too stressful. We're at the 1-5 here. I assume you're familiar with the randomizer concept. I do like to ask my guests, you know, do you know what you're getting into here tonight before we spin the wheel?
I sort of do. I mean, it's one of those things where I always feel like I do. But then I asked Denny, I'm like, do I actually understand the randomizer? And it seemed like I did, but you might maybe give me an ever so slight refresh as we have 30 seconds to learn what the randomizer is.
Yeah, no, we're gonna spin the wheel. I got a wheel here with like 25 some prompts, obviously 18 rounds here, you know, some written by the people, some good ones on Twitter you probably saw. We got some that were submitted behind closed doors. We got a form, you know, the production team puts our heads together. So we got some curveballs for you tonight. But yeah, we're just gonna spin before every pick. And, you know, they've turned into being like kind of challenges that you have to complete. Otherwise you will draft, you know, a really poor player, and then that'll just be on your resume for the rest of your life. It'll go around that, like, you had to select Rico, you know, Dottle at 102. You know, that can happen.
I gotta be honest, the randomizer might make my best ball drafts better than normal. So I could be the first person in the history of the show. And the wheel is actually very familiar. I think I tried to block it out and pretend I didn't know what it was, but oh no.
All right. Pat already saying, oh no, after one spin here. All right. By the blurb is the name of this prompt. Pat must come up with a fake blurb for the player he wants to draft. If Pete buys into the hype, take that player. If not, draft the most recent blurbed player. So we're on the clock. Shit, Pat. These guys are ripping this draft here.
See, Travis Kelce he's agreed to host Saturday Night Live every week during the regular season and will miss Friday walkthrough, but still plans to attend every game on Sunday.
I completely buy it, dude. These guys, does he even care about football anymore? No. I mean, Donna Kelsa became like an international celebrity. These guys are probably making more on their podcast than they are even from their NFL contracts. Lorne Michaels trying to pluck him from Andy Reid. I buy that.
And Lorne Michaels, curious, is paying Travis Kelce, but he's not paying Patrick Kerrane. Would like to know. Lorne Michaels, a very powerful NBC figure for those who do not know.
I just realized, am I even allowed to make Lorne Michaels jokes when I have Rotopat from, you know, Big Peacock here on the show? I realize that might be some blowback for you.
Please don't do that again. they will break my kneecaps.
Rotopat on Saturday Night Live.
By the way, this is the first time all summer I've drafted Travis Kelce, by the way. Like,
really?
I'm not enough of a volume drafter, or like, whatever, I'll do some Kelce teams. This is not me. I've never believed in hero tight end, or I know I hear some of these Zoomers talking about positional advantage, and I just don't buy any of that.
I have never even heard the term hero tight end. I think
I just invented a new strategy. Yes. So, That's what they call it. That's what
All right.
the kids call it.
We're off to the races here with our second prompt. Mr. 8 and 8.
God.
Draw
Oh
a
my
Jeff
gosh.
Fisher style mustache on your face.
Define draw. Let's
I
see.
think, did JJ send this one in? I think this was JJ.
We can't. Is Jared Cook even still in the player pool?
Yeah, we can confirm that Jared Cook is in the player pool.
Let's see here. How much time we got here?
You got some time. You got some time here.
I don't know. I don't think I have it. Okay, I do. I've discovered a Sharpie. Although it's brown, it's actually brown. Do I have to draw on my face? Do we have a ruling on this?
Chat, do we have a ruling on this? Does Pat have to draw on his face?
I have a family. Just a reminder.
They're all sleeping right now, right?
But I have a family. They're in like the questions phase. Like, why did Dad go on a podcast and emerge from the basement with pen drawn all over his face? And
it seems like it could be a good bonding activity here.
This is not a good enough mustache.
Oh wow,
this is real bad. Oh God, this is so bad. I think we might have to take Jared Cook. Are we on the clock yet?
Almost, although JJ did say on the face. I mean, JJ is going to make you draft Jared Cook here.
Oh my gosh. What is the usual over-under on when a randomizer guest gets broken? I feel like it's probably not the second round, is it? I'm already broken in the second round.
Yeah, I mean, it's all up to, hey, some people have, morals. They have standards. They have things. You just grabbed. Did you just grab an entire mug?
I'm looking at
pens.
I've got a pen. I've seen if I have a brown pen. I'm just trying to see if I can play ball here, maybe. But yeah, I can't explain this one to my wife and children.
That's fair. It is fair, but you are going to have to select Jared Cook. It was a nice try. Do you have anything you want to say to JJ? Because really, I mean, this isn't me. Pat, I wouldn't have you draw shit on your face. But I
thought JJ and I were friends. I thought we bonded over just talking endless amounts of shit on Denny behind his back, and I was just wrong.
Would you call this a double hero tight end build?
It is. Oh my God, I just realized we are playing hero tight end, and wouldn't you know it? I think this is going to take underdog by storm. This is going to shake up the ADP in the final 2 or 3 weeks of the summer here.
All right. Next prompt, rotisserie Pat. Pete and Pat must come up with 5 good and 5 bad uses for a rotisserie chicken. If they fail, draft a cook. And we are running out of cooks here quickly. Pat, you want to start giving, should we start with some good uses of a rotisserie chicken? I think just like a nice dinner with your family would be a good one.
Nice dinner with your family. Number 2 is it's enough to feed all of the NFL slot receivers since they're all 5'7", 150 pounds now. So you can feed every slot receiver in one meal with one rotisserie chicken. 3, let's see here. You can use it to jack up your car. If you get a really plump one, you can jack up your car to change a tire. If you don't have what do you call those things? The thing you jack up your car, a jack. Are you allowed to come up with any? I don't know.
Yes, I am. But I was letting you cook, so to speak here. What about you go like Jeff Dunham, like puppet style with the chicken, and you're kind of like doing bits, ventriloquist kind of with the chicken on your fist there, right? I think
that's a really, really good one. Number 5, what is a use for a rotisserie chicken? Say you're tired of it all. You're tired of being on the run. You just want to go to jail. You weren't ready for being in the free world, and you take it from one of those things near the front of a Walmart and run out and get caught shoplifting on purpose.
Yeah, that's 5. Now we need to come up with 5 bad uses for a rotisserie chicken. I think using it as a steering wheel would probably be bad. Very slippery, sticky. You got anything else? Yeah,
well, using it to play catch on Thanksgiving, you can't find your football, and your mom's like, well, I've got an extra rotisserie chicken if you want to play catch with that, and this keeps slipping out of your hand. Can't play catch on Thanksgiving with rotisserie chicken.
I think if you use it as a mouse to try to make a click, that seems like it wouldn't go well. That
using it to store all my gel pens, that's a really bad use of a rotisserie chicken. And using it to improve my cell phone reception. I've got bad service down here. I might as well stick my phone in the rotisserie chicken.
All right, you get to draft whoever you want. Josh Allen, DK Metcalf, Josh Jacobs, Amari Cooper.
Josh Jacobs. All right, we're back.
All right. We're back.
We're back on track now. Hero tight end, hero RB. Sure, I know most people go receiver early on underdog, and this team is an unorthodox build, but it's hard not to feel good about it. Jared Cook, a former St. Louis Ram. There are not many of them left.
That's
So
true.
I'm feeling very good about this. Actually.
Yeah, so the team through 3 rounds, Travis Kelce, Jared Cook, Josh Jacobs, you did successfully traverse the rotisserie chicken prompt. Do you ever get any support emails to Roto World where they're like, I get the world part. What does roto mean? Does it mean rotisserie chicken? Do you ever get those questions, Pat?
No, I think everyone has seen the ESPN 30 for 30 where Daniel Okrent spoke for 72 minutes about how it became known as Roto baseball. And that is weird. We actually do never ever get questions on what the heck does Roto mean. And it's because the industry is so nerdy. There's not a single person that doesn't know the origin story. So there's no need to email about that. I mean, everyone knows.
Asking for a friend, what is the origin story? Like, clearly I know it. I work in the space, but theoretically, if someone didn't.
Legendary Sports Illustrated editor Daniel Okrent kind of created fantasy baseball, and they did the first draft from a rotisserie chicken restaurant in New York City, and that was the birth of Roto. That is a true story, actually.
It's so sad because there's definitely, I do remember that. I think at one point I was like, oh, so it's like the rotisserie chicken that's on the spit and it's going round and round and it's not head-to-head matchups. It's just total points that go round and round.
No one does it anymore. Yeah, you don't need to know about that.
Exactly. All right, we're going to spin again here as we head to the 4th round. I feel like I've already lived a lifetime with you, Pat.
When I see my mustache without brown Sharpie on it, by the way, I do feel like a coward and a failure, just so everyone knows.
Well, speaking of coward and failure, I saw this prompt come in. I did no cheating for this one. It's week 1 matters too. And I'm going to tell you right now, I only know one week 1 matchup. But it says here, the chat will give Pete and Pat any NFL team they can think of. Pete will then guess their week 1 opponent. I'm telling you, I'm going to fail at this. Pat will guess their week 17 opponent. No. If both are correct, draft whoever. If either are wrong, draft a player from the team the chat selected. So give us a team in the chat. All right, this is the first one I saw right here. I saw Cardinals here. I know who they play in week 17, and I will tell you right now, I do not know who they play in week what?
I was thinking about clandestinely cheating and pulling up my ESPN tab right here, but I'm not going to do it.
Don't cheat.
I'm not going to do it. The Arizona Cardinals, everyone knows that in week 1, the Arizona Cardinals are playing the Seattle Seahawks. Come on. Everyone knows that. I've been preparing my week 1.
Pat, you were supposed to give the week 17 matchup. I'm supposed to give the week 1. That's the whole bit.
Yeah,
I know the week 17. I don't know the week 1.
No, it's the divisional. So clearly it's the Seahawks. The final 2 weeks of the season, they play the Seahawks in week 1 and in week 17. So week 17, they're playing the Seahawks. Everyone knows that.
No, they're playing the Eagles in week 17. But the chat's saying you were not even right. They're saying that they don't. Did you just say that with supreme confidence?
No, I did. I was trying to sell it and just hoping that made it true. And I really, really loved that blunt wrong. Anyway, okay, we get to draft someone from the Cardinals.
Yeah, who do you want? Marquise Brown,
We're
James
going
Conner.
hero tight end and hero running back. We're going hero tight end, hero running back. There we go.
James Conner?
James Conner it is.
There it is. Who do they play? David says they play the Commanders in week 1, I believe. Can anyone just fact check this?
Here,
a lot of I believes around here tonight.
I'm fact checking it. No, they're playing the Seahawks too. It's actually wrong.
Do they really?
No, they're playing the Commanders.
I'm getting gaslit in every direction right now.
All right, I do that. That's what I do to Denny. That's how I've psychologically broken Denny. Really good at appearing confident.
Well, we both failed that prompt because I didn't know who they played in week 1 and you didn't know who they played in
playing
week
17. The San Diego Chargers. Everyone knows this. Come on.
All right, the Colt McCoy. Pull a Colt McCoy and point to the player you want to select. You can't say who it is, though. If not, select Colt McCoy. This is going to be so hard because I don't even know where you're looking on the screen.
Am I allowed to call you? Although I don't even have your number stored and like point like that way. Can we do something like that?
This is what I'm thinking, Pat. Can you see the draft board on your computer screen right now?
I'm staring at it.
I'm going to try to zoom in on this.
All right.
Actually
go to a different position.
Yeah, tell me which position to go to first.
I feel like we might need a wide receiver, even though I am a huge believer in hero tight end and hero running back. I feel like we might need a wide receiver.
Okay. I'm just trying to think here. How can I get the screen positioned where you could actually realistically, maybe from the side?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So can you get your finger in the bot so I can see your finger?
Here we go. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I can't. Am I gonna have to aim it down? I don't know if that.
I think you're gonna have to aim it down.
There we go. This is low as it goes.
Hang on, I'm gonna make it bigger.
Okay. Oh my God, we're so close.
Oh no, we just got the mobile screen here.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So
how do we even know when we're up?
So based on the trajectory of, I'll tell you when we're up. We're 2 picks away.
Oh shit, this is bad. I can't. There's no way to make it low enough.
Can I see your finger? I need to see the angle. So like right here, would you say I'm pointing at Christian Kirk right here?
I would.
Okay.
I would.
I need you to do that, but for which player? Okay. Hang on. Thank you. Someone gave me a good suggestion. I put you on the bottom. There we go. You're down here.
Where's my hand? I don't know how the computer works. Okay, who am I pointing at, Pete?
Hang on. One second. You're pointing at yourself. You're pointing at Rotopat right now.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Yes. Here we go.
There we go.
Here we go. Okay. All right. Right now it feels like you're pointing at Christian Kirk. Are you a value hound?
I am. I'm not a value hound. No, I will never quote be a value hound. I'm gonna be a value hound with someone different. Okay, we're on Kirk.
Hey guys, do you want Christian Kirk? No. Okay. No. Now you're pointing to JSN. Now you're pointing to Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, he nods. Chris Godwin's the pick?
I'm so scared. No, you know what?
Keep pointing.
There we go.
JSN?
There we go.
JSN?
I can't even tell you how many times I've seen JSN as the wide receiver 1 on best ball teams this summer. I can't even tell you.
Let's go.
It's a very common build. Kerrane actually just did a whole show on it this week about how he's closing out the summer with JSN wide receiver 1 builds. So,
well, you just drafted. He's my most drafted player on Underdog this summer, and to watch you point to my favorite player, it brought me such joy, Pat.
How are your listeners so smart? How did they? I mean, I guess it's actually was pretty easy to do. But like, how did they figure out to bring us together there? They're very, very savvy internet users.
A lot of people, I'm checking the reviews, and they're actually saying that point is now more iconic than the ET point.
It was also slower and more uncertain. Like I have no idea how to interact with a computer screen. I start moving. I just become rigid and don't move any other. I just like move all in one piece.
All right. I'm calling it right now. Lou, when we make the highlight video, I need a side-by-side of the ET point and Rotopat going to JSN right there.
By the way, I've got to say, not to take people too behind the curtain. You were told me before the show you were having some AC issues. I'm wearing this jacket on August 17th in St. Louis, Missouri. I'll let you guess if it's making me a little too hot. It's not really a jacket town in the summer.
No, Rotopat came on and I was like, yeah, my AC's out. I'm sweating my ass off. And he's like, it's actually really cool in here. In fact, I need to throw on my St. Louis jacket.
And now I am perspiring. I think actually maybe I can't take the heat in the randomizer kitchen. Is what's going on.
It's true. Anthony says we got a double hero tight end stacked with double hero RB paired with an anchor wide receiver.
It's the build you always see. Yeah, it's the build I'm most comfortable with.
All right, next prompt here. Leg up with Jay Leno. Do a Jay Leno. Have you heard about this impression describing the player you want to draft? We're up in 4 picks here, Jay. I don't know if there's anything on the board here. Any players that you comp to some of the sports cars in your garage right now?
Yeah, numerous. The problem is I have a Jay Leno impression that is one line. I've never had to do anything other than have you heard about this?
That's all
with Jay Leno.
That's all we need. I think you could hit that maybe 3 or 4 times, slightly different inflections, and it would bring the house down.
Now we're not doing. Are we doing? We gotta probably do another receiver. Do we? Right? Because we're trying to compete here, right?
We're trying to. I mean, winning is all I care about in life.
Because the running backs are looking tasty. Oof, the receivers not looking tasty. But I think. Oh man, no, we can't do another running back. That would be very foolish. Let's go back. Let's go back to the receiver. Let's go back to. I'm asking about this. George Pickens. He mossed. I can't think of any Steelers cornerbacks, but George Pickens mossed someone.
He's gone. Try again, Jay.
Michael Pittman. You must hear about this. You've been following this. Michael Pittman said today that he is a fit with Anthony Richardson, which just leads me to ask, who are you not a fit with, Michael? I don't know. Is this I'm so scared. Yeah, I think Michael Pittman is who Jay Leno is.
that was good, Pat. That was good. Who's he not a fit with?
Yeah.
Basic question: is he a fit with Gardner Minshew?
Yeah, no, exactly. I kind of lost. I got half of the improv down, and the other half I began to falter. But you got Michael Pittman.
No, you got the chat here.
Someone noticed the head wiggle. So there are people out there who remember Jay Leno and the head wiggle. Again, the former greatest employee in the history of NBC. I would never make fun of him.
That's right. Big Peacocks, Pat and Pete must strut around like peacocks until the next pick. If they fail, draft a player from a bird team. Example, the Cardinals. Trust me, we're well familiar with the Cardinals in this draft here, Pat. We're
going to do it. I meant to put on pants, so I wasn't strutting around in short. And also I have to take out my my headphones, but I will do it.
Got to go big screen for Pat here.
Okay.
No,
we did
no,
it.
back.
I think we did it. I can't hear anything you say because I'm a boomer and I don't have
Pat,
AirPods.
you got to go back.
But,
you got to go back.
We successfully did it, right, Pat or Pete?
No, you got to go back. I had to go big screen. We missed the big screen.
Oh man, I've got my non-AirPods back in, but I'm a peacock. I'm gonna get a tick off me there. That's what I just did. I really fluttered hard. And wow, this is stretching muscles in my back that I didn't know existed. But we gotta get a player. We gotta get another hero tight end for our team. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes, including make my back so sore that I can't lift.
Can we see your plume? Can we see your feathers here? Can we see you truly peacock?
And how do you? Is this good enough? I've got some real peacock feathers in my house, but I'm not an elitist. I just happen to have peacock feathers.
We only have 4 more picks to go. The chat is bleeding the clock because they want to watch you peacock around for another 2 minutes.
All right, that's fine. I'm starting to get used to this now. And someone just sprayed me. I just walked through a sprinkler in South Texas where someone's watering their lawn, even though it's 108 degrees. And there shouldn't even be allowed to have a lawn.
Can we see your head? Do people want to see the peacock head? Now that's a point that I would have known you were pointing to Jay. I said that.
That would have been a way to do it. Point with my nose.
Hang on, real quick, because we're not quite on the clock to fulfill this prop. We just need to keep the movement going here a little bit. All right, I'm going to read off some of the players here for you. Trevor Lawrence, Miles Sanders, Darren Waller, Cam Akers, Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams, Dallas Goedert. What would a peacock want here at 7-5?
Starting to wish we had been a value hound and went with Christian Kirk so we could stack him with Trevor Lawrence because I've been told that is very important. Should we do? I mean, could we stack him with Zay Jones and Evan Ingram later? Peacocks are weird. They're like dinosaurs. They're modern dinosaurs.
Hey, Mr. Peacock, do you want to backdoor stack Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, I do. I don't even.
Here we go.
You had me at that. There we go.
All right, let's. I feel exhausted.
I do too. I don't think we can finish the draft.
Imagine if you were doing that with a Jeff Fisher mustache, though. At least you maintain some dignity.
I'd already be running. I have a brown Sharpie in my mouth. It's fine. It's not toxic. Sharpies weren't allowed to be toxic after 1984. And I look at it, it says 1982 on the Sharpie that I have, and as it's running into my mouth.
Fun fact. So Kerrane did the randomizer last August, and we had the same prompt. The peacock prompt came up, and Pat actually did some incredible peacock object work. He went on to win $2 million. On this show around the same time in August last year, Pat. I think this bodes really well for your fortunes.
Gotta be honest, it's sounding a little bit like analytics, what you just said.
Yeah, teams that run the ball 96 times in a game are undefeated.
Is it just me, or is it sounding very analytics-y in here? And
it is. This is where my streams go wrong, when the wives look up and start watching the shows. Hi to Tyler's wife.
well, the problem with wives is that they quote know things. You don't have to know anything if you're a fantasy football analyst.
Wait, did all the wives start seeing this? The only problem my wife saw all season? She's very good. Are all of your wives watching right now?
I gotta be honest, my wife is outside playing with her kids, and they can see through the window, and I'm really hoping they didn't see that.
I really hope that they were all peering through the window.
I thought Daddy said he was doing a podcast. And just all four of them start crying. And by the way, one of your audience members said I had 17 kids. It's only 4.
It's only 4. That prompt didn't make it on the wheel. I thought that was insensitive.
No, it would have been fine. I know all 17 of them, I think.
All right. So I believe this was another one of the podcasts you did with Kerrane. I can't keep track of them, but you did have this moment where you literally guessed how many yards Zay Jones had last year. And I was like, is this a bit? Like, did you guys plan this? So first of all, I do want the backstory on that. And then we're going to need you to do the same with Terrace Marshall. If you're within 100 yards, you get to draft whoever. If you're wrong, draft LaVisca Chenault. So talk about your clairvoyance with Zay Jones' yardage from last year.
Just think I have been forced to go to that Pro Football Reference a few times too many. And I don't know. I was trying to come up with reasons like not to draft Evan Ingram or something. Oh man, he ceded this many yards to Zay Jones this year. And now they added Calvin Ridley. I don't know. I sometimes have a savant brain of statistics, but I don't know if I have a savant brain with Terrace Marshall's 472 yards from last year.
Are you serious?
That's what I know. That's what I'm guessing. That's
Are you fucking serious?
Are you serious? Did I guess it?
490.
Okay. Oh my God.
Holy shit. This man is a savant.
The thing is, the true answer here is, like, when you are doing this, I mean, I know everyone, like a lot of you people listening are probably doing fantasy football every day. When you are like doing fantasy football news all day, every day, you go to every one of these guys, like Pro Football References, or like ESPN game logs, like at least 15 times a post, and you just begin to internalize it. And that was a true guess, but I was like, I know he didn't clear 500, and I'm pretty sure that he wasn't under 400. So that's how we ended up at 472, folks.
That is absolutely incredible. You know, there's people out here worrying about week 17 correlation. Let's get back to the good old days where we just remembered how many fucking yards the guy had.
Yeah, that's been my fantasy football skill since 2005. I just know how many yards every player had.
That's right. It's like when I was a kid and I'd pull up the, I'd get the Rocky Mountain News and I would see what fucking Dante Bichette's batting average was.
Exactly,
that's what mattered.
Exactly. Greg Jeffries, he's hitting 331. Everyone knows this for the 1993 Cardinals.
Yeah, still don't know what slugging percentage is. Anyways, you are on the clock. You get to pick whoever you want. Kamara, Watson.
Tell me what position we need. Even though this team is already compromised.
You're very balanced. You get to take best player available.
We're gonna do Sky Moore. We're gonna do Sky Moore.
Sky Moore. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna go over to the ship chasing stream just to roll the clip. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Sky Moore, 2 Ys.
That's the fucking sickest name I've ever seen for a wide receiver in my goddamn life. Sky's up!
Oh, let's go.
How did you have such ready access to that clip?
Well, I spend more time in StreamYard than I do with my own wife. That's
as I uncomfortably laugh.
Yeah,
that's very funny.
My wife's peering through the window with our child right now as well.
It's a very funny joke, Pete. That's not at all real.
All right, is he worth it? I think Davis set this one in. Explain why Breece isn't worth drafting without sounding like a boomer. Oh no, Pat sent this one in. If the chat thinks you sound like a boomer, draft Kenny Yeboah. Talk to us about Breece, Boomer.
There's too many leaps in logic. I'm going to kill people with facts and logic. That's something boomers never do. And it would be one thing if he didn't. So it was one thing when he was just overcoming the injury. I can deal with it. I can be an emotion-based drafter and be like, hey, he's just really good. It's just a totally another thing now that he's got one of the highest paid 2023 running backs ahead of him on the depth chart. That's 2 data points Boomer would never ever reference a data point, and there's 2 data points now working against Breece Hall. And my screen.
You
goes
sound like
black,
a boomer. You got to dig yourself out of
hold
this
on.
hole, boomer.
Let's see here. Did it get hot in here? Just dying, sweating. A boomer, would talk about how hot it was in the room. Now, it really is that. Like, I'm not trying to like dot connect. And when like the best case scenario for a player is that but in November and December, he's gonna be killing it. Like just predicting, like as if we can predict how September and October will go in fantasy football. It's just too much for me, man. Like the GM of the Jets is Aaron Rodgers. He's paying him $7 million to Dalvin Cook, and I just don't dabble in the best case scenario. Is like, listen, this other guy's going to be bad, and this guy's going to be killing it in November and December, and that's why Breece Hall is still worth a 5th round pick somehow. And
you might as well say Dalvin Cook is going to make the Jets great again at this point.
Oh no! Oh god! Kenny Yeboah, there's no way he's even in the player pool, so this prompt doesn't work.
No, he's definitely in the player pool.
No.
I'm sorry, like, I let the chat, the chat and the viewers of this show, in a lot of ways, Pat, they're the third co-host. They're the third person here. And they definitively called you a boomer on this one. So you do have
Miles, come on, man. No way, Miles. You got it all wrong. I don't even know any boomers. You've done too many pods with Denny. You need to do more pods with Lawrence. You need to do, more pods with the youth Kyle.
of America.
Kyle doesn't know who the baby boomers are. He doesn't even know how to make boomer jokes. He's such a zoomer. He's never even heard how did the boomer thing start? Like, okay, boomer. Kyle's never even heard.
Do you think like you and Denny, pod together, you guys are what's the word he used? He called you feckless on your birthday. And meanwhile, Lawrence is out here now doing shows with Lisa Ann. I feel like you guys are on 2 different wavelengths right now.
Lawrence, he's an alpha. There's no doubt about that. He's an alpha. I'm a beta. And I mean, Denny, I used to be an alpha, but then I worked with Denny once. And
you got a contact beta high.
I became a beta by association, and there's no. It's fine. I'm the only beta who keeps having a kid every 2 years. So,
there you go.
People forget that I have. I mean, not to get graphic on here, but people forget that I've had sex 4 times.
4 times. Someone thought you had sex 17 times, which speaks to kind of the virality that
would be alpha behavior. I've had it 4 though.
Okay.
Yeah.
What how was the expo? Did you have a good time?
I did. I always have a good time at the expo. It's a great event. We did some panels where I don't think I had to speak on Breece Hall, because then I would have sounded like a total boomer. It's a really good event. I did make the very boomer decision though, not to play in the flag football tournament because I didn't want to pull a calf or tear my meniscus. So
did I see that Des Bryant's team won that? Did he just have a bunch of ringers? Was he playing with like the 2014 Dallas Cowboys?
They were not ex-NFL athletes. They were rather large, as a zoomer would say. A boomer would never know what large meant. And Des Bryant did moss my coworker Eric Froton for an interception. So he played quarterback and safety, and even that was enough with his non-NFL teammates.
Speaking of people who get mossed in the game of life, this prompt is: you're fired. Call Denny and let him know that Roto World is letting him go as they're hiring Pat Kerrane back. He can no longer afford him. But before he needs to make your next pick.
That's fine. I'm calling him right now. How can I do it so the whole they can see?
Yeah.
Denny, he's a beta. He'll answer. If I call, he knows he has to answer.
You just gotta.
Denny, we're here. I didn't want to do this on national television, but we're here on the randomizer, and I was gonna wait till tomorrow, until after you had worked your shift, of course, to tell you that you had been terminated. We are finally letting you go, and you're being replaced with Patrick Kerrane. This is all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Pat really did buy that yacht then.
He did. And you're taking it pretty well. But we just drafted Kenny Yeboah, so now I'm in the red. I'm $2 million in the red. We can't afford you anymore. We can't afford you. Even though we don't pay you, we can no longer afford you. And we got to bring back Kerrane. We need some more alpha vibes around here. So, Denny, you are fired. We hate to.
That's fine. Actually, Kerrane offered me an internship, so I'm in.
There you go. So you're kind of rehired in a certain sick way.
That's right.
But yeah, Denny, you are fired. We hope the kid's bedtime goes well.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye, Denny.
Bye.
It was good working with you. All right.
So while Denny was getting fired, I realized the clock was getting bled down. I didn't think you wanted Tua, and so I just quickly clicked to the wide receiver position, and I drafted Juju Smith-Schuster for you.
No.
Do you have any thoughts on what just happened?
No. Well, talk about Boomer. This guy, he's like 5 minutes away from a hip replacement. Juju Smith-Schuster. I know it's his knee, but he's getting like 4 joints probably replaced in the next 2 years. He's made the ultimate. We just drafted a literal boomer, even though he's still only 23 years old, apparently.
Oh no. These prompts back to back are incredible. The one who got away. Call Pat Kerrane and tell him NBC is offering him a $2 million paycheck in $1. So it is more than his Best Ball Mania winnings to shutter the legendary Upside blog and return to Big Peacock. Otherwise, select Durham Smite. Do you have Pat Kerrane's phone number?
Oh, of course I do. But Kerrane, though, he won't. This is where the Big Peacock stuff is going to get in the way. And he's not going to answer, but we're calling him.
Pat will answer.
We're calling Patrick Kerrane. This will be the first time Pat and I've ever talked where it didn't go at least 80 minutes, by the way. We're both phone talkers.
You guys have long phone conversations.
We're phone talkers. He's probably out at dinner eating he's here. Pat Kerrane, this is Patrick Daugherty. I may or may not be on a certain podcast where I may or may not be prompted to do things. And I'm just calling to tell you, NBC, we want to hire you back for $2,001. Is what
what's the catch?
The catch is that there is no catch. We want to make you rich again, and we know that one more dollar than $2 million.
And Denny got fired to clear.
Denny's been fired. That's correct. You are replacing Denny. Denny may have been fired also live on air just before this call.
My condolences to Denny, but I got to do what I got to do. This is a hell of an offer. You drive a hard bargain, but I think I'm down.
So you got to come back for $2,001. That way we don't have to select Durham Smythe.
Tell me he's got the overnight blurb shift though.
Hang on, I did write about Durham Smythe this morning. I actually think it's a decent pick.
Yeah, Pete.
No, I accept.
You accept. Even though we love you, we want you to thrive. You are doing the overnight blurb shift Saturday to catch everyone up on the preseason.
You know what? It was my fault for not double checking.
It was your fault, but we're so thrilled you're back. We're even more thrilled Denny's gone, and now we're on the clock. Patrick, we love you.
Love you too.
Bye-bye. That went really well. He's thrilled to be back.
You get to pick whoever you want.
Running Tank Bigsby. Yeah, sure.
I got it for you. We did forget to tell Pat that he did have to shutter his site, but I think
that's implied.
When you get a $2 million offer, it's going to be an exclusive.
Oh, that's
offer,
$2 million and one. That equals automatic closure of your site. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Pat's just running the playbook that all these sites, run. It was like Underdog with the, the FanDuel. It's like Barstool, they sell it and then they buy it back for cheap. I mean, he just ran circles around us.
Oh yeah, he did. And I'm sure there's some sort of tax evasion going on. But, Pat doesn't like staying poor, so he's willing to do what it takes.
The best part is there were people advising Pat, and I won't name any names. It might even be people that, are recognizable in the fantasy industry that were advising Pat to move to Miami and establish residency.
They were. And he may or may not have had to consider it. He ran the numbers on it. And instead he moved to the cheapest town in America, San Diego, California.
That's right. Pat did recently announce that. Otherwise, Pat, that's dicey territory for you, kind of sharing news that's not yours to share.
Did he announce that? I really panicked that he had not after I said that.
He did finally mention it on Chip TV the other day. But I had done the same thing, Pat, where I kept being, I almost wanted to break. I'm like, you got to fucking tell people you're moving, dude, because I'm going to slip up. News.
Not a bit. At the second after I said that, I was like, oh my God, should I have said that? on the podcast.
Can you imagine Dvorak right now having to write a blurb? Former NBC Sports Edge employee Pat Kerrane moving to San Diego per Rotopat.
You say, or former NBC Sports employee Patrick already fired because Pat Kerrane called Lorne Michaels and got me yanked off the NBC
Jay
News
Leno,
desk. Yeah.
the lisp on his Pittman impression was so offensive that
I know. Listen, the lisp thing too. He had a lisp. That's why.
Oh my goodness. How do you feel about your brand being so closely affiliated with Big Peacock and all of its enterprises?
That's good. I'm not a bit. I'm proud to work for NBC Sports. I love NBC Sports. We've had some people come and go. You know, it's a crazy industry. We've had a few people win $2 million. You know, that the old cliche, like all my favorite coworkers are just winning $2 million and immediately leaving.
Hey, God, but I got it. As part of this prompt, I have to ask, let's envision a world where Denny wins Best Ball Mania 4. And I don't even know if he's submitted an entry into the contest. What do you think Denny does? Like, all bits aside, what do you think Denny Carter does if he wins Best Ball Mania 4?
Denny is addicted to work. So that's another thing. Denny is always trying to, like, tribune of the people, man of the people. I'm sure he's somewhere on record as saying it should be like a 2-day work week. Denny, more than like anyone I've ever worked with, is like so addicted to work. He can never not be writing. There is no way he'd be leaving Big Peacock. He just can't get enough.
I'm the same as you. The 2-day work week, and then I get his emails, and he's like, "I'm offering to do live commentary of your fantasy draft." I'm like, Denny, protect your evenings.
I know. Denny is addicted to work. He would just find a way to work even more if you gave him the $2 million. So
all right. So
leave.
This prompt is called Denny's request. Pat must admit he's a soy boy or draft Najee Harris, who's long gone in this draft, but we do need you to admit that you are a soy boy.
Yeah, I'm as soy as it gets for having 4 kids. Let's put it that way. I'm an unrepentant soy boy. I'm from the Midwest. It's not even an insult here. Soybeans, it's like one of the engines of our economy. And being a soy boy is actually, in Missouri, being a soy boy is very good. It just means your soy yield was very, very high that year. Soy boy is actually a term that dates back to the 1920s in Missouri, and I'm a soy boy.
You're a feckless soy boy who gets to pick whoever he wants. We got 6 seconds. Who do you want? Eli Mitchell, Rondell Moore.
In honor of Denny Carter, it's like Rondell Moore.
Why is that in honor of?
Oh, yeah. Because he loves horrible players, and he does keep drafting Rondell Moore this summer.
I am starting to think you keep saying you have 4 kids, but it does feel like a lady doth protest too much situation.
I just keep saying it over and over and over again. Oh, yeah, well, would someone who had 4 kids have a Christmas card with at least 3 of them sitting right on their desk? I don't think so.
3. Interesting that the 4th is in Canada or
something. Don't worry about the 4th. Yeah, it's the 4th. Listen, they're still casting the 4th, all right? All right, they haven't casted the 4th yet. And there's a lot of labor laws. You can't have a 6-month-old acting baby, but once they turn 1, we can get a 4th actor to play my kids.
Yeah, we can't get the release forms to get the children on the show. This next prompt, speaking of children that may or may not exist, they still exist. Name 5 currently rostered fullbacks or draft Jamize Olawale.
This is so embarrassing because I have to do like the depth charts and all this. So Kyle Juszczyk is the easiest one. Connor Hayward, right? Is the second one. Kyle,
I'm pulling up. So Juszczyk, someone linked to me. Our producer team got the contracts loaded up. So Kyle Juszczyk is the one with the most. I'm not seeing Connor Hayward on here.
Hayward. Right.
Not seeing it. How about this? I'll give you a clue. How about the Ravens fullback? He's fairly iconic.
Oh my God, Patrick Ricard.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Give me some other clues.
There's the Vikings fullback is named after something you would have on Easter dinner.
Darvin Ham, or no, not Darvin Ham. What is this? Not Darvin. That's a different athlete. It's Ham. What's his name? This is so bad. I'm the only one in the industry that would probably have any shot at knowing 5 fullbacks. I can name sort of 1, sort of 2. Ham. What is Ham's first name?
It's CJ.
CJ Ham.
We got to
of
move.
course. Yeah.
The Broncos have a fullback whose last name is an iconic indie rock artist. His first name is Andrew.
Bird.
No, that's actually good.
No,
Andrew Bird is actually an indie rock artist. Beck.
Andrew
Beck.
Andrew Beck. Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed. Pat doesn't know any fullbacks.
Hang
on, I got to go put Jamize in the.
Let's pull them up real quick. I'm gonna look at all the ones I could have known really quick, and I'm just so immediately embarrassed that I didn't know.
I'll pull up this. So we had.
I should have known Alec Ingold. I should have known Xander Horvath. That's about it. Maybe Jason Kabinda. I should.
Reggie Gilliam. I feel like I remember a little bit.
Man, there is less name power than there used to be at the full. I should have known Alec Ingold, and I should have known Xander Horvath. Those ones I'm not embarrassed to not know any of them. I mean, Adam Prentice. Are you freaking Derek Watt? I actually knew. I should have
Derek Watt. Probably.
Derek Watt. Actually, that's fine. The team got a lot higher T. I'll say that.
How do you feel about the allegations that say, quote unquote, Pat, this is a bad team?
I say you don't know anything about the hero tight end build. You haven't been over at Rotoviz lately. You haven't been on Denny's Threads account where all they talk about is hero tight end.
Can I also, Pat, I want you to know, kind of a lot of people think that I'm just dicking around on this show. I don't do any work. The person who submitted this prompt wanted you to name 10 fullbacks. I throttled it back to 5.
You should have throttled it to 3. We might have gotten there on 3.
Exactly. Darvin Ham is the name of my running back on Madden in year 15.
Darvin Ham is an NBA player, by the way, correct? I don't think I'm making that up. There was an NBA player by the name of Darvin Ham, and now he's a coach. God, he's 50 years old. I'm not a boomer, by the way, though.
Let's recap this team before we spin the wheel here. We're heading into the 14th round. Pat has a very, what I would call an avant-garde build here. Mm-hmm. It's a 1-4-5-3. Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Tank Bigsby, and Jamize Ozawale. You did want to stack Lawrence with some of his pass catchers, but you did get him stacked with Tank Bigsby.
We did. Who was noted for his pass catching. His name's Tank. I'm sure he's a pass catcher.
That's right.
He's just absolutely known for catching.
When his parents named him, it was destined to be a pass catcher. Wide receivers, JSN, the point heard around the world, Michael Pittman, Sky, roll the clip, Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Peter clicked that one for him, Rondell Moore, and in honor of Feckless, Soy Boy, Denny Carter, Travis Kelce for the anchor tight end build, Jared Cook for the double anchor tight end build, and Kenny Yaboya for some prompt that you didn't complete.
Kenny Yaboya is probably he shouldn't even be considered a tight end. He's basically a wide receiver. So he's a failure for the hero tight end build.
I call him a joker tight end. Nathaniel Hackett's thinking of really creative ways.
That's true. Aaron Rodgers is going to love this guy. He's going to love Kenny Yaboya.
All right, Mizzou woes. Convince the chat that Mizzou will finally become an SEC powerhouse and they will win the national championship. If the chat is not convinced, draft Steven Sims. I don't know anything about Mizzou, Pat. School me here.
Well, with a team that is not about to become a national powerhouse, have just landed the number 3 overall recruit in the entire country. This is not a joke. The number 1 overall player at his position, a defensive lineman. I can't remember his name, but he's from Lee Summit, Missouri. He's the biggest recruit we've ever had since a little man you may remember named Dorial Green Beckham, a Mizzou legend who did not transfer and end his career at Oklahoma. And, we have a coach. He's literally named Drink. We have a quarterback who all of our hopes rest on him not being injured this year. He was really bad last year. And at the end of the season, it was revealed that he played hurt all year. But no, the recruiting is looking way up under Coach Drink. I'll say that. See, Elia, don't even pay attention to his name.
Would you lie about Drink being his name? You wouldn't. No. I did have to fact check that. What is the level of your fandom? I mean, you don't strike me as someone who would get emotionally tied to a football team.
I actually do. So Mizzou, I'm in the really, really weird where I am become a true casual fan where I don't grind message boards anymore. I don't really follow the recruiting classes very closely. But I watch every game in its entirety. And I think truly it's just a glutton for punishment. Because the NFL, I had to become dispassionate. I don't have a team anymore. I want teams still where I can be lizard brain. My true lizard brain team is the St. Louis Cardinals. They were the ones, but Mizzou, I watch, and now going to the SEC helped with this, but Mizzou, when we were in the Big 12, I took the games as like a personal referendum on myself. Like, people in Kansas are just so stupid. Like, everyone knows Missouri is a better state, and just because Kansas keeps beating us in basketball over and over again, they think it makes them better than us, and it doesn't. It just doesn't. And Mizzou, I mean, I look at the economic output of Missouri, it's like quadruple that of Kansas. And you know what? You can have your stupid basketball win. No one cares. And I did think things very, very personally. It's very, very tribal. I love having sports fandom, though, where you're, like, I'm a big believer in you shouldn't be able to choose the teams you root for. You need to be born with it. And I'm a Mizzou and a Cardinals fan. Yeah,
and I assume you're a fan of arranged marriages as well. You do get to pick whoever.
Okay, good. That's fine.
No reason to respond to that. You do get to pick whoever you want. The chat seems convinced that Mizzou's turning into an SEC powerhouse. Who do you want?
They are. Oh my God. Who do we? Kendra Miller? No, receiver. We're screwed. Kendra Miller. And we need that suspension. We need that Kamara suspension to. We need the league to appeal his 3-game suspension and turn it into a 6-game suspension.
Yeah, please put this guy behind bars. So
exactly.
$3.
Yeah, exactly. So, boy,
what will Pat demand as a dowry?
We might have been better off with Steven Sims, by the way, than Kendra Miller at this point.
All right, league winner. Pat must come up with a galaxy brain reason why the top available wide receiver will be on the winning lineups of teams in week 17, a week that Pat refuses to think about. If the chat is convinced, draft whoever. If not, draft Tutu. Davis Maddock once saw him high point a ball at well. Be careful here. One thing that happens on the randomizer, sometimes you start giving a spiel for why one of these wide receivers are going to be a week 17 winner, and then people snipe you. So if you do want to slow roll your week 17 Galaxy Brain League winner, feel free, or you can start to spin us a yarn here.
I would like Tutu Atwell, by the way. So it has to be the person who's at the top.
Let's see. Let me go double check. Top available. You're right. So this does have
top available. Does that have to conform to ADP, or is it my?
All right, Isaiah Hodgins. Tell me a story.
Can I look up who they're playing in week 17, by the way?
Yeah, it's the Rams. I'll help you. Go.
Isaiah Hodgins. So, Jalen Hyatt is a bust. Darius Slayton was traded to the Texans at the trade deadline. They finally waited. After 2 years, they finally did it. Cole Beasley had been the number one all year until suffering a high ankle sprain in week 16. And Isaiah Hodgins, the game of his life against the Rams, 3 catches, 120 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know. Yeah.
He had like 3 40-yard touchdown bombs.
All exactly 40. There was a glitch, actually. It was revealed the NFL was rigged, and there was a glitch, and they allowed him to score 3 40-yard touchdowns.
I also want to just unpack in this reality, Brian Dable has failed. The Giants are sellers at the trade deadline, and the CJ Stroud-led Houston Texans are buying veteran wide receivers.
Exactly. Hey, it's crazy. You can't predict the NFL, guys. It's really, really crazy stuff. Yeah. So I was struggling to somehow think of any of the 19 Giants receivers, even though I've been writing about them all summer. And I did remember Cole Beasley. This wasn't my brain. I only remember the funny receivers. I didn't remember Paris Campbell. I couldn't remember Wan'Dale Robinson.
Jamison Crowder.
Sterling Shepard, although I feel like he might get cut.
Really? Sterling Shepard's going to get – is this a leak here? Is this from Big Peacock?
No.
Did Jay call you up and tell you about this coming down the pipe?
No, Kerrane did. But Kerrane, he lives in New York. Oh, at least he used to. Before he publicly announced his move to San Diego.
Before Rotopat stole his news that he's
yes, before he very obviously publicly announced his move to San Diego. I did not break that news to the world. We're sorry, Pat. Please forgive us.
All right. You have you're 15 rounds down. Are you still scared? There's only 3 rounds. Let's kind of like take a step back. Are you still scared of the randomizer?
I'm not scared anymore. The only one that truly scared me was the second one, the Jeff Fisher. Everything else, I've desperately have tried to achieve. I could not achieve the mustache one.
So wait, were you tossing this around in your head of how do I still project as a fun guy who's up for anything without Penciling a mustache on me.
I don't know. What was I? We needed like more instruction. Oh, how was I allowed to do the mustache?
Yeah,
needed
it was
more
very
instructions
ambiguous.
from
You
JJ.
gotta text JJ.
JJ was
you know,
detail oriented.
I did too.
Turns out
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not.
unsubscribing from the late round.
Yeah, I already have. I did it actually. I was really distracted earlier. That's how we ended up with Steven Sims. We didn't get Steven Sims.
I know we did avoid that one. Blur is hang on real quick. Did Steven Sims go to Mizzou?
He did not. No.
Oh, then I don't know why that was.
I don't know how that happened either.
Blurb Mad Libs. Pete gives Pat a player, a headline, and an object. This is essentially clue that Pat must craft a believable blurb around.
All right.
Here we go. Your player is Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch, all right, the human Dortch.
I'm gonna go to object first. Your object is a candlestick.
Candlestick. Oh no. Okay. All right.
The headline is Kliff Kingsbury returns from Thailand.
Oh no.
So we got Greg Dortch, a candlestick, and Kliff Kingsbury returns from Thailand.
All right.
What is the blurb?
The superstitious Greg Dortch achieved his goal of getting former coach Kliff Kingsbury to return from Thailand after keeping his prayer candle lit for exactly I can't think, what's a number associated with Kliff Kingsbury? I can't think, exactly 17 days. Kliff Kingsbury's ideal number of slot receivers or receivers under 5'8" on a team. And yeah, boy, this is falling apart.
No, you got it. Stick the landing.
Right.
Stick the landing here. Jonathan Gannon is not about the short kings.
No. He wants the big boys.
Michael Wilson. He's drooling over Michael Wilson. Greg Dortch is praying to get Kliff Kingsbury back right now.
So he knew the only way to do it was to continue lighting a prayer candle every day. 17 days for 17 new prayer candles. Kliff Kingsbury's lucky number. The messages were wafted across the Pacific Ocean, reached Kliff, and he is back to restore order in the Arizona Cardinals' 5'8" receiver universe.
I'm buying it because Rondell Moore threw his heft behind this one as well. You get to pick whoever you want. Who do you want? In
their honor, in our Short Kings honors, we're taking Tank Dell. We are taking
Tank Dell.
Yeah. Although we need a second quarterback, don't we? But we're taking Tank Dell.
We can get the quarterback on the wrap. I mean, Derek Carr slid all the way to pick 188. I think we're gonna be fine.
Tank Dell, I think, is probably the best player on our team.
Tell me you're a news hound without telling me you're a news hound selecting Tank Dell.
I know. Gotta read too many of these.
This prompt came in, Pat. I legitimately don't know what the fuck this is, but I Googled it. Immaculate Grid. Pat and Pete must take on the day's NFL Immaculate Grid. Do you know what this is?
I do.
To pull this up.
It's very popular in baseball. Despite being a football guy, I'm probably better at it in baseball, by the way.
Okay. Pat, I'm not doing a bit. I'm the boomer here. I'm going to pull this up. I don't know what this is. I don't know what we do. What do we do?
Let's see. Chicago Bears. So you just connect the dots. You think of someone who played for the Bears and the Dolphins. You put them. You only get 9 total guesses though. So you have 9 total guesses.
Do I click? Do I click in?
You click and then you can type.
Okay. So Dolphins and Bears.
Dolphins, Bears, cycling through current player. It can be any player though in history. Yeah. Wow, we're gonna look really dumb.
Let's go through some of our other options: Cowboys and Bears, Titans and Bears, Jets and Dolphins.
Jets and Dolphins.
Jets and Cowboys.
We don't know any players. This is being revealed. We know nothing.
Bills and Dolphins. Come on, there had to have been
Bills, Dolphins. Trying to think.
Jet. Okay, we're gonna use the chat here. Kyle
Orton, Cowboys Bears is an absolutely diabolical perfect one. Okay.
We got it. All right, let's go. Chat want it. Robbie Chosen.
Robbie Chosen is Dolphins and Jets. Yes. It might be Chosen Anderson.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Chosen Anderson.
They're not giving it to us.
They didn't give it to us?
Uh-oh. All right, let's see here. Charles Clay, is that a Bills Dolphins?
That is Bills Dolphins. Wow. That's a good pull. Yeah, that's a real good. The highest paid player in the history of both franchises.
Ryan Fitzpatrick works for multiple.
Okay, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Dolphins, Titans, yeah, Jets, Dolphins, Jets, Titans. Do them for Jets, Titans. Wow, your listeners.
Okay,
are
we
much
got
smarter.
it. Let's see here. Brandon Marshall, Jets, Dolphins.
Oh yeah. We're not going to get the Immaculate grid, by the way, because we already wasted a guess.
Bills, Cowboys here. Someone said Brandon Marshall for Miami, Chicago.
I don't think you can use a player twice.
Yeah,
No,
we
you
already
cannot.
used him.
We got to know. I keep thinking of Dave Wannstedt for Bears, Dolphins, by the way, but you can't do coaches.
I do need to get a punishment in here of if we don't get this, we do have just a little bit of time here. Is he not even – Ryan Fitzpatrick is in here. Let's see if we can finish this here.
We will. I really want to start cheating. And
Cutler, we got GA says.
Cutler, of course. That's gonna be like 32%.
Thank you.
42%.
Thank you,
okay.
GA. Titans, Bears, Bills, Titans.
We've got to know
Bobby
Cowboys,
Trees.
Jets, man. How do we not know Cowboys, Jets? How do we not know Cowboys, Jets?
Where's Robert Woods? Okay, we got Robert Woods.
Oh man, Jets, Cowboys. I feel like we've got to know Cowboys, Jets.
We did
it's so hard,
out, by the way.
All right,
Cole Beasley, Bills, Cowboys.
of course. God damn it, we're embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, I mean, that's what I do on this show.
We're
all the
embarrassing
time.
ourselves. Cowboys, Jets, or Bears, Titans.
Jets, Cowboys. Oh, it was Cobb.
Oh yeah, Randall Cobb. That's right.
Oh my god. Immaculate grid, baby.
We didn't get quite immaculate. To get immaculate, you got to go 9.
Dude, is this what people do?
It is. Yes. There you go.
Dude, just nailed this. Love having fun on the internet with my friends.
Who guessed 0 of them and didn't know any tight ends or any fullbacks.
Tomorrow, engage.
There you go.
With
you
me.
Just won the internet, I believe it's called.
Like and sub for more. All right. I think that's what you're supposed to do. Hang on. All right, shit. We got one more pick here, I think.
One more pick. So now we don't need another quarterback now that we got Fitzpatrick, right?
Yeah, let's recap this team before we head to the final prompt here. Trevor Lawrence and Ryan Fitzpatrick, totally good at quarterback. Running back, Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Tank Bigsby, Jamize Olawale, Kendre Miller, wide receiver, JSN, the point heard around the world, Michael Pittman, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Rondell Moore, Isaiah Hodgins, Tank Dell, tight ends, Travis Kelce, Jared Cook, and Kenny Yaboya.
See,
we did it.
Tight end, we're perfect, man. Kelsey, 17 of 17 weeks. Everything's fine. That's the true hero tight end, is that we were trying to prove a point. We didn't even need any other tight ends. And
dude, the reviews are in. We know ball.
You've already got 8 likes too for your completely contextualist, no context.
Dude, is this like a legit partnership from Pro Football Reference? Like, good for them, dude.
Well, it was baseball. Baseball Reference purchased the independent game, then quickly expanded it to all other sports. And this is like dominated. I love,
the like boardroom machinations of how this deal went down.
It has dominated baseball Twitter all summer, and it is so addictive and also maddening.
All right, final prompt. Oh, Jim, I'm excited. Talk only in your Tony Romo voice until your next pick.
I don't know. I don't know if I can do anymore. He's got him in the flat, and he missed it, Jim. The tight end was cutting across I know football words. I know that part of the field, and he missed the whole shot. And Jim's like, are you watching the same game as me? That was a 2-yard incompletion. It's the 14-minute mark of the first quarter. I don't know if you need that much emotion. Tony.
No, Tony, I do still need, we're about to make the final pick here, Tony. Please stop tipping the plays, though. It's kind of like ruining the drama of the broadcast. Who would you like to pick here? Feel free to point or articulate.
I don't know, just Sam Howell. They said he could run, but he didn't run as a rookie. It was the big problem why he couldn't unseat Taylor Heineke and I've got nothing. That's the problem with all good impressions. You have one line, and then they run out of steam. Completely.
No, Tony, I just want to ask, like, are you okay with naked Sam Howell? Are there any stacking considerations? Would you like to stack CJ Stroud with Tank Dell? I'm just floating some ideas.
Yes, I would. And this is now how I talk, Jim, because the soul has been sucked out of me. I tried to pretend to be a good football analyst, and then I wasn't. I was a fraud.
Well,
I was
Pat
a
wants
loser and a
CJ
fraud.
Stroud, but Tony Romo wants Sam Howell, and that's who Sam.
There we go.
That's who
And
Tony gets.
I don't know, Jim. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I was. I don't know who I'm supposed to be. All I know is that I'm Tony Romo, and that should be enough.
Tony, you are enough. You're enough here, and you have completed the randomizer and seen Rotopat's team here, a 3-5-7-3 build. This is the meta. This is the current meta, dude. I've done 3-5-7-3 builds. I'm not even joking, Pat.
I know you're not joking.
I would never joke.
I don't know.
What's in that mug, by the way? Is this a prop mug?
No.
This feels like you're on late night TV.
No, it's
and you're
real.
not
It's
actually
water.
playing.
One of my compulsions is just drinking constantly the whole time I'm doing a podcast, and it's water.
Is that
You
an
can't
NBC
tell.
Sports Edge mug?
It
What
is.
a
It's
company, man.
okay, but it's from not a company man, 'cause this is now defunct branding. We're not.
They're not
actually-
sending you updated Roto World mugs?
No, they are. They actually are starting to send updated stuff, but yeah, this is defunct branding. Please, Lauren Michaels, don't call me anymore. I'm gonna keep using it.
Why we're here? What's the little skeleton guy over there by the nice Christmas family photo?
Yeah, this is just to keep people off balance. My kids love the skeleton, purchased in Port Isabel, Texas, close to the United States-Mexico border. And
Vacationing in Port Isabel, Texas. How
Port
rich.
Isabel, South Padre Island, so even richer folks. Yeah, the noted Gulf of Mexico beach town, South Padre Island, where I stay in Denny's condo.
Pat, the reviews are in. Rotopat GOAT. Pat, you're the GOAT and the real Pat. No amount of money will ever change that. Good work, buddy. Pat, did this end up being as scary? Was it just the mustache prompt that terrified you?
When you have an impression, so like sometimes when you come known for impression, people like love the impression, but they just don't ever realize like how surface deep it is. And this actually happened to me in high school once, where I had an Italian religion teacher. I went to an archdiocesan Catholic high school, and I had an Italian religious teacher who was like, despite being a religion teacher, was probably the least religious member on the staff. He was very stereotypically Italian, very, very crazy guy. And I always did an impression of him to all my friends. Dr. Stucco was his name. And somehow word got back to him that I did an impression of him. And one day at the beginning of class, he made me stand up. This is a true story. He made me stand up in front of the class and do my Dr. Stucco impression. And that was the scariest moment of my life. And it's like you said, when you get prompted to do your improv, all of a sudden it's not funny anymore. And like you can't think of anything. And that happened to me and my doctor. And it happened to me once or twice tonight, but I'm hoping the audience didn't really notice. And Dr. Stucco, if you're watching, I love you, and I'll see you soon.
No, you crushed it tonight, Pat. This is a good callback to when you came on Ship Chasing, what, a month, 2 months ago, joining the best ball scene. Do you feel like you're part of the best ball scene now? I feel like trial by fire you are.
I do, and see, I'm like as much a part of the scene as I need to. I only needed to be what I needed from the scene was just enough to like pick up like the nomenclature so I could start making jokes about it.
Exactly.
So now I just like I'm BBM4. Obviously, I'm doing another 4 later. Or the 4 is probably filled by now. Everyone knows that.
See, Pat, you're way onto it because this was my MO too. When you do improv, you don't want to know a little about a lot. You want to know a lot about a little. You want to know just enough to get the right. When someone asks me to do a reference, I just want to be able to mention Heidegger for a random philosopher. You just need to, I don't know anything about Heidegger, but I know his name, and that's enough to get the reference through. That's all you need to do.
You just want to know enough to do a guttural, I don't know, Jim. And then someone's like, all right, what's the next part of your Tony Romo impression? And then I was like, seems like my internet's kind of breaking up. Yeah, I don't think I can keep doing the show. And I go in the next room and start crying.
That's a little peek behind the curtain. Rotopat, you crushed it. You've been making me laugh all summer long. I've been loving listening
True
to
big Sam, by the way.
the Roto World podcast. Anything else the people need to check out here? Maybe some of the work from your feckless co-host. Anything else here?
Well, I'll just say I've never been this sore or sweaty after a podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not usually such a physical activity.
It might be the jacket. It might be the jacket.
The jacket is not helping. I still have my offensive ranks where I ranked all 32 the league's offenses kind of for tie-breaking purposes is how I framed the article. If you don't know a difference between player A and player B, one of the better tiebreakers in redraft drafting is the overall offensive environment. That's up where I picked a fantasy dark horse for every team. One or two of those already been ruined by signings.
Did you write your plugs ahead of time on another monitor and you're reading off of them?
I do this kind of stuff all the time. Check out our draft guide, of course, which we're keeping updated. Updated player rankings and projections, mock drafts. We've got some new stuff coming there. But the blurbs, of course. Preseason week 2, more starters are playing this weekend. Keep it locked to the site. And also, if you're wondering why our Twitter feed hasn't been tweeting news updates, let's just say it's a sordid tale that is being resolved next week. So check out Rotoworld at Rotoworld_FB.
There you go. This man spent the hours leading up to this show debating whether he would actually draw a mustache on his face and writing out the plugs to read at the end of the show.
All the time, right? Instead of studying fullbacks, I just wrote the plug.
I appreciate you, Rotopat. This was a blast. Thank you, everyone. Love doing this show every week. I think only 2 more randomizer shows if my calculations on the August calendar are correct. I'm going to hop over to ship chasing here in about 45 minutes. We're doing an FFPC main event with Sean Siegel. If you guys want to watch us draft a team, check out Rotopat over on the Roto World airwaves. Thank you, Pat, for being game, for having fun. Thank you guys to the chat, all the great submissions and prompts. Appreciate you guys helping to power the show. For Rotopat, I'm Pete. This is the Randomizer Show every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.